Oh, that's right. How you doing this afternoon? We got Miss Penny right here with us. We've got Ann right here with us, and we've got Rosemary Bell with us here this afternoon. She is, of course, the executive director of Greater Greenwood United Ministry. They've got a big event coming up, and they always have great things going on right there at Greater Greenwood United Ministry. How you doing today, Rosemary?
Good afternoon, Ann and Penny. It is so great to be here with you guys again. I love coming and speaking on the show.
Yeah, it's kind of homey over here.
Yes, it is. It is. It's great.
Right.
You get licks, and hugs coming in the door, and it's wonderful welcoming committee.
Well, there you go. She says she's in charge of social media, being social. Yes.
Yep, she is.
So, gosh, Rosemary, you've got an event coming up a week from this Saturday, but I thought we might talk about some of the things that are going on over there. You are always changing it up and doing good things. How about give us a little rundown?
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with the crisis ministry.
Because we're always in crisis.
Everybody's in crisis, it seems, these days. But our crisis ministry, the neatest thing about this year is, last year, the whole year, for rent evictions and utility disconnections, we assisted with $84,000 worth of financial assistance. January to July this year, we're at $87,000 already. So we're going to be doubling what we did last year. So that's kind of a noteworthy thing. And, the economy has hurt people. Rents have escalated. Utilities, we had that time period where we had very high utilities. So people were just desperate. People were in crisis. People are in crisis.
Now, do you have any idea how many people that translates to, or families? Or
yes, we've seen about 350 individuals that we've been able to assist with that. So that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
It's pretty good assistance.
Now, one of the things, though, I think we should talk about with Greater Greenwood United Ministry is the fact that these are not just handouts.
Right. Our line underneath our logo is a hand up. And, way back, the ministry used to have a handout, not a hand up, hand up, not a handout. And so when we rebranded about 5 or 6 years ago, we decided to drop the handout part and just say a hand up because it's so positive. And no, it's we hold people accountable. It's about accountability. And I always tell people we're not a Band-Aid organization that just assists and then you come back again and again and again and again, because we want people to sustain themselves. Because the bottom line is we sustain ourselves, we can help other people by doing that.
Sure.
And that's what we help our folks understand.
And how do you go about doing that, Rosemary?
Well, in the interview process, when they come in and say they're maybe unemployed and really struggling a lot with making ends meet and paying bills, the interviewer brings them in, and they can get real personal with them, talking about their day to day. How did you get in this situation? And they can talk to them about the importance of employment, budgeting. Sometimes it's just people have money, but they don't know to pay the bills first. It's like, I got paid today, so I'm going to go out and, buy something. And because they've never been really taught or shown that you pay the bills first. Sure. And so our
Dave Ramsey, 4 walls.
Exactly.
4 walls.
Exactly.
Food, right?
If I'd have known Dave Ramsey back in the day, I'd be a rich person right now. But I'm rich in other ways. But the interview starts and they get in there and talk, and they talk about how they got in that. They do a budget. And then, recommendations are made. Hey, we're going to send you to the Job Connection at Goodwill. You can also go to SC Works. We give them it's not a contract, because a contract sounds like, it's harsh, but we give them a piece of paper with these things on it. We explain what we're trying to do with sustainability, and then they sign it, we sign it, and we give them 2 weeks to get it done, because we feel like that's pretty good. If a lot of them go right to Goodwill when they leave. Some of them try to wait 6 months and they forget about it. So, we explain to them that maybe you're not trying to show us you're not trying to sustain yourself, but if you don't take this intervention step seriously, that's how we're going to look at it. So, I won't say we won't help the person again, but it would be hard for us. We want to see people that are really trying to help themselves. We've had people coming in being unemployed back in 2016, and maybe we've told them we can't assist you right now because you're not employed again, and we had given you this intervention step, but then they come in yesterday and they're employed. They get assistance because now somewhere along the way they've realized that they can do this, that they can earn their money and pay their bills. And so that's what it's all about. It's just helping them think about things differently.
One of the things that always impresses me about Greater Greenwood United Ministry is the fact that you don't take any government funding.
Nope. No state or federal funding. Nope.
Why not?
Well, because the biggest thing for us, as is we don't want the government coming in telling us, get down those pictures, those religious pictures. You really can't have Jesus on your walls. You really can't pray with your clients. And those are things that we have done for 31 years since we started years ago. And, as we've renovated and gotten a new building across the street for Crisis, we have made it more, we're here to support one another and be Christians. And we have to have that environment to show them Christ. And so we've really taken that seriously and being able to pray with them during their crisis. We've seen people come in that, they don't know what to do. And then we'll ask them, hey, can we pray with you? And as we pray, all the walls come down. Everything they melt. And it's like when they make that connection and they realize, I can pray. I can pray. Maybe I don't have a relationship with Jesus, but I can pray. And it's a special feeling. It's a special place. Our medical patients say, we come in here because we feel Jesus in here. We feel love in here. We feel acceptance in here. We don't feel being judged or treated wrongly. We just feel like you guys just help anyone and put your arms around us and want us to be well.
A lot of people, Rosemary, use Greater Greenwood United Ministry for their medical home. Mm-hmm. How does that work?
Yes. Our free medical clinic is for anyone in Greenwood, Abbeville, McCormick, and Saluda. Right, we're not doing Edgefield yet. Those 4 counties that have no health insurance, no Medicaid, and no Medicare. So typically they go to the emergency room when they're sick, and they're episodic, what I call episodic patients, because they don't do prevention. I'm a girl from a very big self-regional healthcare prevention background. I'm all about, preventing the disease or managing the disease, and then helping not to have, you got diabetes. Well, let's cut down on the fact you're going to have heart disease too, because they kind of go together. And prevention is a big thing. But our patients, most of them are not ready for that. They come in and, if I have an appointment today and I'm feeling pretty good, I ain't going. That's just the way it is. I'm not going. And they'll call and cancel on us. And we don't want that. We want to get them to come in and understand that the more they take care of their health, the quality of life's going to improve. So we're there as their medical home. The counties that we serve do not have physical free clinics in their county, because some people say, well, why are you not in Lawrence? Why are you not in Newberry? Because those counties have free medical clinics. Abbeville had a free medical clinic, and the health system there, self-regional, has taken a lot of those patients on. But we've been used as a resource as a free clinic to a free clinic. They feel very comfortable coming to the free clinic. So we're getting some of those from Abbeville as well. But our doctors, we have 10 to 15 physicians that volunteer, and a lot of them are retired docs. We have specialties, and they come in and they don't have to worry about productivity. They don't have to worry about, you can't spend more than 10 minutes or 15 minutes with your patient. Some of them spend a long time with the patients, and the patients love it. They love it.
I bet the doctor loves it too.
Oh, they do. They do, because even our residents that come from Montgomery Center, they'll say, I can be a doctor here. I can really be a doctor here and spend time with the patient. And, we have an internal medicine physician that he's like, they're the darndest patients. And I have to go home every week and go, what do I do with this? And he said, but he helps them so much, where these people would be going to the ER, just doing primary care, hitting the wall, not ever really getting anywhere with their situation. And then he digs until he finds out exactly what's wrong and gets them on the right medicine or the right procedures. And it's making huge impacts in people's lives.
Well, it is, but it also, Self Regional is a big supporter.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, I can't even, I could never tell them how wonderful they are for us, because, they fund our pharmacy. We have an in-house pharmacy that is very critical to our patients. If they're walking or have no transportation, they're not going to come out and go, now I got to go down the road or across town to get my meds. I can't afford to pay somebody to take me. I'm not going to walk. It's hot. It's 102 heat index today. So having that pharmacy in the home is great. It's in the house, and it's been wonderful. And they fund that. They fund our pharmacy. They allow us to use their bus. They take the bus to Saluda once a month for us, and we use it down there to as an extension of our free clinic. Lab and X-ray. I mean, they are awesome. They are totally awesome.
But
they are about community.
It's a win for Self Regional, isn't it? Tell us why it's a win for Self Regional.
Because, like I said, these patients would normally be going to the emergency room for everything. Ingrown toenail, I'm exaggerating, but, insignificant to, of course, hearts and all that. You want them to go, but for insignificant things that happen, they're going there, and the emergency room is too full for people to just sit for. You go and you sit for a long time, and that's just the way it is because there's so many people there. But with them helping us, we're keeping those non-serious patients out of there and giving them a medical home where they pick up the phone and they can always get in. We always have a provider. They call, and it's like, yes, come in at such and such tomorrow, because we have doctors Monday through Thursday. So we've always got a clinic going, and it doesn't matter if it's internal medicine, women's clinic, whatever, we're going to get them in to see a physician. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just helping the emergency room. And we did a kind of a in-house study a few years ago, and in 2023, because they wanted us to take some of the load off the emergency room, and in 2023 we only had 7% of our patients go to the emergency room within 30 to 60 days of coming to us. 2024 it was 5%. Last year it was 3%. So we feel like we're really making headway. And it's self-reported. It's not like we did some Gallup study or some big study.
Right.
We ask them when they come in. We ask every one of them, and they're used. And plus we have Epic Cares, so our referral specialists can go on and see who's been to the emergency room. And so we feel really good about those stats. And
so you have Epic there too.
We don't have Epic. We have Epic Cares. Epic Cares is a very small piece of Epic, where when we can only see our patients. So when they go, we're referring them to, say, ortho or neuro or wherever we're referring them. When that information, their tests are done, it comes back to us through Epic Cares, and our referral specialist can access it. So it's pretty awesome. I wish we could have Epic. And then my doctors hearing me right now are going, no. Our retired doctors are going, no. It's very cumbersome, but, we don't have an electronic health record. We have one. We have Athena, and we load everything into it, because most of our docs, they're just kind of not about getting on there and doing all the electronic. So my office manager, and we have a volunteer, they help load everything in so we can look at it on Athena, but the doctors aren't actually inputting all the data. Our residents would love it, but we're not going to make them learn Athena when they've learned Epic. So, it's a lot. So we would love to have Epic, but it's very expensive.
Now, another thing is you've added a lot of different departments, like women's health.
Yes.
And I bet that's made a huge difference, because I can remember, I think a couple of years ago, you didn't have a women's health department.
Well, we've had a women's health clinic since 2021 or 22. So we've had it, for about 5 years. And before because we started out as a primary care clinic. That's what our doctors way back, it was 1 day a week. and we had one nurse practitioner that saw the patients. And so being able to have the GYNs who told us when they came, we ain't delivering babies. Okay, that's okay. So they do true women's health. And they were telling me not long ago, you're so excited about prevention. Well, the women are getting it. They're starting to do their mammograms. They're starting to do their PAPs every year. So we're starting to make headway with the women who, some of them when they came in didn't even want to know. If I start thinking about this, I'm going to get sick. That's a mentality for
Sure.
some people, some cultures. They don't want to talk about it because it brings it into their lives. And it's been amazing to see that shift change with especially our women.
Well, I think it is really, really it is transformational.
Yeah.
What y'all are doing over
Yeah.
there at Greater Greenwood United Ministry.
Yes.
Now, how has that new building worked out?
Wonderful. That was a God thing. You know that.
Right.
2022, that building was given to us because the building we're in, everybody was in that building. And as the medical piece of it grew and the family there grew, crisis was getting pushed off to the side, so we had to have that new building, and we really couldn't afford to buy. In my brain, I'm like, we need to build a bigger building. How are we going to do that? And so we saw one down the street. We were going to get it, and the night before we were to sign the papers, everything fell through for some reason. And across the street, these people that owned the building said, "Do you know anyone looking for a building?" And I was like, "Yes, I do. Us." And they're like, "Oh, okay." Well, and I said, "Well, I'd like to come talk to you." Well, we were wanting to lease it. And I was like, "Lease it? We would want to buy it. We don't want to lease it." And I hadn't talked to the board about it. I was just like putting my big mouth, out there. And I went and looked at it and knew it was going to work for crisis. And it would alleviate all that pressure in the building across the street. And 2 weeks after I looked at it, the owners called and they said, "The building you're looking, yeah, mm-hmm. The families decided to give that to you guys." And I was like, "What? Huh?" So the building was given to us, and then
gosh.
we sold the building on Maxwell. We owned a building on Maxwell, actually, that Old Eight's in now.
Right.
Emerald Ink was in it. And, again, I had these big dreams of an outreach center for the churches to use for Vacation Bible School across from the splash pad, and it just wouldn't work out. And I was
Right.
like, "Why? I don't understand why this is not working out. This is my idea." Well, I realized it didn't need to be my idea. So once we sold that, we had the money to upfit the building we're in, and we've been in there 2 years now with Crisis, and we have a conference room that we can have board meetings in. We don't have to meet anywhere else, and we can do classes in there. Right now, it's full of a lot of silent auction stuff, which is awesome. But it's so nice to have both the buildings available, and medical just expanded out the way it was supposed to. And it's really crazy because we thought, all the space we're going to have.
You're right.
We have filled it all. And it's like somebody was saying last week, "We need some more space." And I'm going, "Well, okay, maybe we need to start praying about that." But, we've renovated the inside of the building ourselves. We have a nurse that's been doing that for us for a couple years, and we're working on the patient rooms right now. We got a grant from Greenwood County Community Foundation for some new exam tables. And so we got some new exam tables, and I mean, our doctors are like, "Whoa, these are some electric ones, that actually have some bells and whistles, and new stools that go
Right.
up and down."
Right.
So we're like,
So you're getting really uptown here.
yeah. So we're very happy about all the grant money that we get, because it really helps us do our job better to provide for the patients and clients that we see.
Well, and it is an amazing operation that you run over there, and I think it's built on godness, and it's built on if we can do it, right?
Absolutely, because I have been, when I came there 13 years ago, I was like, "Lord, what are you doing? I'm not that kind of Christian. I don't think I can do this." I mean, I don't know anything about a nonprofit or working with volunteers or any of this. And asking for money, writing a grant, holy cow, I can't do any of this. And it's like, I don't think about it. It's like he stretched me so far and so much now that I just kind of go, "Oh, okay. So that's what we're going to do. Okay." And it's just part of it. And he has assembled a team in both buildings in the whole ministry that their hearts are for others. Their hearts are to serve others. And we are, when I say there's 47 volunteers, we're a family. I mean, it's a big family, but we work together, and everybody brings their gift and talent to help people. And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Beautiful work.
It is. And, we've gotten a couple of comments here. Let's see. Judy says, you are appreciated for all you do to help other women and others.
Oh, great. Thank you, Judy. Thank you.
Right. And James says, thank you for everything you are doing for our community.
Thank you, James. Appreciate that. Appreciate support.
Right.
We can't do it without God and our community, all the donors. Music for Ministry, the churches, I can't forget the churches, and all the grants that are written.
Now, this all started because of the churches,
yes,
didn't it?
It did. Because when people are in need, they go to the churches. And
Right.
this was going on, for a very long time. And, the church will help someone, and then they come back. And they come back, and they come back for the assistance. And the churches, it's hard for the churches to tell them, no, they can't do it.
Right.
So 11 of them, and I'm probably going to get corrected on that. It might be 17. I'm torn between 11 and 17. It was bad typing on that sheet I looked at. So, but it was between 11 and 17 churches came together, mostly Center City churches, came together with a board of very, very servant-hearted people. And they said, let's pool money, and we're going to call this thing Greater Greenwood United Ministry, and they will help with rent, utility, homelessness, clothing, hotel rooms, whatever the community needed back in 1995 in January. That's what GGUM did. We call it GGUM. That's what GGUM did. And we have now, over these 31 years, we have about 60 to 61 churches, and in partnership with finances, they send volunteers, they do food drives, they do things to serve on the board, they connect with us. And, some churches do a lot and some churches do a little. And it's like we were talking about earlier, a little goes a long way when you put it with everybody else's money. And you can make a huge impact when everybody works together to fund something. So yeah, we have great churches.
Yes. And it certainly has made it easier on the churches, too, not to have to, they can just say, go to Greater Greenwood United Ministry.
And we do have some churches that still do some things on their own, and a lot of them tried to, and then they'll call and go, we're sending everybody to you. I'm like, okay, it's fine, just send them here, and, we'll do what we can, and if we can't, my thing's always been, if we can't, then we make sure we give them some kind of a referral to another organization that may be able to help them when we tell them. We've got other community organizations that are awesome partners. Check with them. Don't know their guidelines, just check with them. So being able to refer them, we got a great community. I mean, our community is amazing how people work together for the good of all.
Absolutely. Well, okay, so now, then there was a few years ago, Rosemary had this great idea about doing a music for ministry, and I remember the first year. Now, how many years are we into this now?
We're at 12.
Is it really 12?
12 years, yeah. 2015. It's crazy because I came in 14, and I'm going, how did I do that in 15? Because I didn't even know who I was or what I was doing in 15. But one of the pastors told me, we were doing Medicine Chase back then.
Right.
And Donna Trapp, our clinic coordinator, who retired 3 years ago, she did Medicine Chase. And we were doing 5Ks before anybody knew what a 5K was, and a walk with the docs. And we made lots of money from that. But then everybody jumped on the bandwagon with the 5Ks. And when I came, it was like we were at year 20 with it or something. And I said, it's a lot of work. And I'm definitely not saying a small amount of money, but it was a lot of work for what we were doing. And I think it was the father over at the Catholic Church. I was there for a meeting, and he said, you need your own fundraiser. You need a signature fundraiser that's yours and yours alone. I'm thinking, okay. And I didn't know, what does that look like? I don't know. And so Music for Ministry was born out of let's try to involve our churches. Let's feed them. And let's do a little silent auction. and we'll do it all day.
And some music.
Yeah, and some music. And we started at 11 and ended at 3. People could come and go, come and go, come and go. Craziest thing
That's
you
the
ever
first
saw.
year. First
that
year.
was like the first 2 or 3 years. And it was like, why are we letting people come 11 to 3? We need to kind of get them together, because when people are together, there's so much energy.
Right.
So year 12 now, we're 5 to 7:30 now, and we shaved off a half an hour, 5 to 7:30. Huge silent auction. When I say huge, it's huge. Great.
Like how many? Like how many out?
Today I asked them, and they said there was already 155 items.
Wow.
We had 180, I think, last year. So we've still got stuff coming in.
And people can still donate.
I was getting ready to say, people can still donate their items or sponsorships. We're still doing sponsorships too, but the silent auction, we're definitely still taking items for that. My intern, I think you met her this year. She has a catering business, and she is going to be doing our food this year. So no barbecue.
So what are you going to have for food?
We're going to have a catered served meal, and we're going to do Italian chicken, rice pilaf, and some other things that she's concocting. And the
Are they edible?
Yes. I guess. I hadn't sampled. No, I'm kidding. She has let me sample her food. But the Frank Russell culinary,
Russell.
Yep. Culinary students are going to be doing our dessert this year,
What are they
as
doing?
they did last year. I'm thinking, Jay and I were talking a couple weeks ago, and we're thinking probably like an apple crisp, because we're going into the fall.
Right.
And we were kicking around peach, and last year they did some little parfaits, and it was a lot of variety. So we thought we just want to be able to put something on the table this year and have it. The issue we had was the food. The thing starts at 5. At 5:10, the MC would say, the food's ready. We're going to go by table. That never works. Everybody leaves, and then the people up singing or dancing or whatever they're doing,
Right.
they have a minimal crowd.
Right.
So I told Katrina, my intern, and she said, why don't we do a served meal? So we have enough wonderful volunteers at New Covenant. We have about 14, I heard last night, that are going to help serve all the food. And it'll be, people can get up and look at the silent auction stuff in the room where we'll be, but they won't miss any of the great music we've got, because we've got some great stuff this year. And so we try to do it a little better every single year, and it seems to get a little better every single year. We're at New Covenant this year. And
New Covenant, now where's that at?
that is on Woodlawn Road, 1509 Woodlawn Road. Going down 72, Grace is on your right. You take that left, and it's the church there on the right. They built a new sanctuary several years ago. But it's like, I was telling somebody today, I said, you think 5 to 7:30, holy cow, 2.5 hours, man. But when it starts, we laugh, because it's like, okay, it's getting ready to start. It's over. And we're looking at each other going, it's done. It's done, because the music is going constantly. There's groups changing every 10 minutes, and then the auction's going in the back, and the MC's talking, and there's so much going on that it's just not, there's not a dull moment.
That's
Pretty
cool.
exciting. Now, we have talked, you'll laugh about this, because we were talking in the office the other day. They're like, this is year 12. Yeah, and normally, fundraisers go about 5 or 6 years typically. And we're blessed. We're in year 12. But they were saying the other day, oh, next year's year 13.
Whoa.
Do we do year 14 instead? And we were kind of laughing about it. And I was like, we're not going to be superstitious. We'll do 13. But wow, that's a long time when you think about it. I never would have
the
imagined.
dollars. I mean, tell us a little bit about the dollars. What was the first year? Where were you last year?
The first year even, it was at South Main, because that's where the ministry was born, in the basement of South Main Baptist Church. And the first year when we were doing it and everything, puppet shows and everything, we still raised almost $8,000. And my
That was
treasurer,
huge for the first year.
yes, my treasurer at the time, when I told him about it, he goes, And my treasurer passed away in January this year. Sadly, I miss him terribly. But he's like, Ro, I doubt it. I don't think that's going to last. And now last year when the money came in and we did all the counting, he was like, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. But it's heavily sponsor driven, because the sponsors for our event have realized they can donate annually. They can do one donation a year and make big impact. They can put theirs with everybody else's and make
Sure.
huge impact at one time. And every dollar goes into crisis and medical. Every dollar. There's no administration. There's no overhead. It's all going back to the people we serve. So that excites people, that, you know, my little 350 is going to go with that 12,000 that's going to really make a huge impact in the community.
So how much did you raise last year?
$81,000.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
$81,000. Yeah. And I'm telling you, it was our wonderful sponsors. And this year's, I think every year God just continues to grow it. And it's not just the money, it's about what we do, the awareness of what the ministry does in the community. That's one of the big things is,
Right.
you know, the people that need us know who we are. But the people that we need to open their pocketbooks and their wallets, we need for them to know us real well.
Right.
So, you know, it's really a big awareness thing. And I'm going to be sharing a lot in between this year where I hadn't done that in the last 2 or 3 years. And I feel like people need to hear a story. It's hard to get our people to come and do testimonies because crisis people aren't going to come in,
Right.
you know, and medical people don't want to come in either because they're telling people all about their medical, you know, their health. So we can tell the stories and not have a name with it. And you got people that want to hear numbers and you got people that want to hear stories. So I feel like this year we're really going to try to focus on some of that to help the people that attend understand the huge impact they're making.
Well, tell us a story,
Those
because on
dollars.
the radio, people would love to hear a story about how they can help, because this is a great opportunity.
Well, my favorite story, and this is one I've told several times, my favorite story is back from 2019 before COVID. And it was a crisis story. And there was a young mother that came in the day before we were closing for Christmas. We're getting ready to close the offices for, our board gives us about 2 weeks. It's awesome. And we were about to go home, and I was like running around like a chicken with my head cut off like usual, trying to get things finished. And, you know, they were interviewing. And a couple days before this, one of my friends that's at another nonprofit brought she came up and she said, I have some extra toys that were donated to our organization. We're at Christmas. We don't need all these toys. So I'm just kind of giving them to other nonprofits. I'm standing there going, what am I going to do with these toys? I don't have kids coming in here. You know, I don't. Kids usually don't come with their parents. So I just kind of looked at her and went, oh, okay, sure, yeah, I'll take them. Just stick them over there in the corner. And I'm thinking, I'll deal with that after we get back from Christmas break. I said, just stick it in the corner. And so she put it over there and she leaves. Well, this lady comes in the next day, and she's looking for rent. She's being evicted. Lost a job 2 months before. It's Christmas. She doesn't have the money. So one of my volunteers comes to me and says, this lady owes so much, and it was well over what we usually, because we set guidelines on our funding, and it's like, it's well over what we can do. And she was telling me about her, and I said, okay. I said, well, go back and talk to the landlord and see if he will budge, because it's Christmas. Come on. He will give her a little more time, or maybe he'll cut some of it off. She came back and she said, nope, because it's the end of the year and he needs to get this cleared up. And so I just looked at her and I said, just pay the whole thing. And she said, you don't even know how. I said, just pay the whole thing. It's okay. So she goes back and tells the girl, and she comes back to my office and she goes, will you pray with her? She's in the lobby. And I said, sure, and what's her name? And she told me. And I walked out in the lobby, and the girl's standing there crying, of course. And she said, I just can't believe y'all did this. I mean, I can't believe y'all did this. And so I said, can I pray with you? And she said, yes. And so I prayed with her, and she started walking out the door, and she goes, I don't even have Christmas for my kids. And I went, what'd you say? And she said, I don't even have Christmas for my kids. I said, how many kids you got? She said, I have 3 girls. I have 3 girls. So I'm kind of looking at her, and it dawned on me, there's a box of toys in the corner. So I told her, I said, I'll be right back. Hang right here. So I went and got Walmart bags, and I brought them out, and I gave her a bunch of them. And I pulled that big box out to the middle of the floor, And I told her, I said, here's your store. I'm going to open this up, and you just get what you want out of this box. I don't know what's in here. I haven't looked. I have no idea what it is. You just go ahead and get what you feel like you need for your girls. She really started crying then, and she was loading stuff. And I said, now let me tell you something. I got 3 girls. Make sure you get the same thing in the same color for all 3 of them, or there's going to be a fight at Christmas. And she started laughing. And so she loaded her bags and took a lot of it. I mean, a lot. And it was like, take what you want. So we helped her get the stuff to the car, and she walked out. And I was looking at it as she was putting stuff in the bags, because she was kind of filtering through, and I saw, Barbie dolls and all kind of stuff in there. The whole box had girls' toys. The whole box had girls' toys.
No boy toys.
No boy toys. Not one. Because we knew we were watching her and helping her. And when I went back to that box, I'm looking in, and I told the girls, I said, do you see any dinosaurs in there? No. Do you see any Minecraft stuff in there? Legos? No. And I said, all that stuff was purses and dolls, and it was just like, wow, that is my favorite moment with all the things we've had so far, and we've had some great things happen, but that has been one of my favorite things, because another nonprofit, she's a very dear friend of mine, and she brought it. And the funny thing was, I told it at Music for Ministry in 2019. She was there, and I told her, I just told the story, and when I got ready to come off the platform, she was waiting on me, and she said, it was mine, wasn't it? I said, yeah, it was yours. And it was just crazy how.
But stuff like that happens all the time. And I am convinced if your heart is open, that things like that do happen.
Definitely. And, I just wish I would have been a fly on the wall on Christmas morning when this mama now is in her home with her kids, and she's giving them all these toys that she wasn't even expecting to be able to give them anything. So it was pretty cool. And we did put the rest of the toys out. It wasn't a lot, but we put the rest of it out for our folks to get. But that was just one of those, woo. Plus it was like, I don't understand what he's doing most of the time. So here I was trying to get everybody done and get everything taken care of and get out before Christmas, and I can't be fooling with that box of toys.
And then
he had the plan. Yeah. He was the one that had the plan, that had the girl to come in and needed exactly what we had. So, yeah.
That type of stuff is always, it's just so perfect. But this year, you're having Music for Ministry. Now, when is it?
It is going to be next Saturday, August the 22nd, 5 to 7:30 at New Covenant Church, 1509 Woodlawn Road.
Now, how much are tickets? How do you get tickets? How does this all work?
They're $30. They're still $30. We talk about going up to $40 or $45, because so many times it's like our board goes, people are asking $75 for their tickets. And it's like, we just feel like we want to keep it to where it's reasonable for people to come. And if they're coming as a family,
and you can always give more.
Oh gosh, yeah. And that's what we pray for, that that people will connect with us, and if they have an extra 10, or if they're getting silent auction stuff, that they're going to throw in an extra whatever. And they do every year. But the tickets are $30. They're available on eventbrite.com, and they're also available at GGUM, which is us. Medical, if you go to the 1404 location, they're going to send you to the 1409 location across the street, because we have the magical iPads and all of the PayPal stuff that we can take cards and cash and checks. We'll take it all. But we don't Venmo.
Can they pay at the door?
Yes, we're going to probably,
if
we should have some at the door. The church took quite a bit to sell this week, and which is awesome. And people are the week before and the week of, that's when people are going, oh yeah, it's coming up Saturday,
Right.
But we've always had tickets available at the door. I don't really see that we're going to have trouble with that. Seating, we're going to have about 235 seats this year, so that's pretty good.
Right.
And we want everybody to be able to sit at a table, and there's going to be chairs as well, but we hope everybody can get at a table so they can really enjoy the event and settle in and relax.
Sure. Now, you have had a live auction in the past. Do
Yes.
you have a live auction too this year?
We do not.
Okay.
And our hats off to Dodgen. auctioneers, Daryl Dodgen, Duck, as we so lovingly refer to him, and his wife Mary and Cindy in their office. They have done such a beautiful job for 3 to 4 years with our live auction, because we decided to do something different 3-4 years ago, brought in the live auction, and we did well with it. But I think that, when you're having an auction, it's one thing, but when you're having a nonprofit event and then you pull that auction in the middle of it, it's just different. And it's, he worked pretty hard to get people to understand. Just hold your little card up, just that little card you got, don't fan with it, hold it up. And it was, my husband helped with it, and of course he's a clown, so he was up there making everything funny. But it was hard work, and I know I didn't want them, they volunteered their time, and that was a lot. And so we decided this year, we learned a lot from them. They were wonderful teachers, because, my business manager, Pam Kirby, she does a beautiful job with the Terry Lewis does a lot of the organization of getting the volunteers to go out and get the items. They've been working for a couple months. Pam is awesome with how she organizes and does the bid sheets. And, this year we're going to have a catalog on the tables of all the items. So if people decide they don't want to do it, we got a catalog there that they're going to go, oh, I might could get that for a Christmas gift.
Right.
And how do I do this? Oh, you got to go get a bid number. So we're going to entice them that way. But, I think it's going to be better because we have the extra time. We shaved 30 minutes off the event because people were getting out of there at after 8 on a Saturday night. That's a lot. So we shaved off 30 minutes, and we were able to add in a couple more churches and a couple more acts. So that's been a real benefit, because it's the music. It's not just silent auction. It's about the Christian music and about, worshiping. I mean, it's a big worship service, basically. And it's entertaining, but it's also a great worship service.
And you bring together lots of like-minded people.
Yes. And, I hear almost every year people come up going, Rosemary, you need to do several of these every year. And I just look at them and go, I'd be in the crazy house if I had to do several of these every year. I mean, because we start in April. It's in August. 12 years, my daughter always goes, Mommy, you're so funny. It gets close to the time and it's like, you're just crazy. You're a lunatic. And I'm like, well, but it's a big deal. It's gotten to be such a big event that we want it to be perfect. We want people to have a great experience to where they're going to tell other people next year, and they're going to feel good about, if they donate money to us, they're going to know that they have stewarded those funds to the best organization that's going to get them to the people that they serve. So that's really our goal, is to make sure that happens.
Now, what if somebody wants to be a sponsor?
All they have to do, well, I'd love for them to call me. I'll give you, if they want to be a sponsor, actually, they can reach out on the website. There, Terry does a beautiful job with our website, and she has done a page, a Music for Ministry page, a tab that you go to at the top of the home page, hit it, and it has all the information about Music for Ministry, and all the sponsor levels are there, and you can sponsor from that page. It goes straight into PayPal. And
if somebody wants to call you, though,
I would love for them to call me, and they can call the ministry, and they can get me the message, and of course I'll call them back. We got a lot of new sponsors this year, which has been super exciting to me. So more and more people.
To call over there? It's
864-942-0500, and it doesn't matter which option, because they both know who I am. So, they can say, hey, I don't know if she's over there, or hey, she's in with somebody, or hey, she's out running around. Let me get your name and number, and I will be happy to contact. I can pick checks up.
No problem.
I can pick cash up. No problem at all. But seriously, we're taking sponsorships up until, through at least half of next week, because if we have a big sponsor come through, we recognize them during the event. We have certain levels that are recognized completely throughout the event. Our first 3 levels are talked about the whole time, and then they're running on the screen on both sides of the stage. I'm so excited. They're going to be running on the screens, and the name of the group is going to be in the middle. We've never had this before. I'm so excited. So our sponsors will be there.
And they're being advertised on the radio.
Constantly. Yeah,
Yes,
our big sponsors are also on our commercials.
Right.
Terry has them on the website. She's highlighting our sponsors on Facebook, our bigger sponsors. She's been doing a lot of posts lately. So all that information's there. But, if you want to know more about it, and maybe you're hearing this and going, what the heck is Music for Ministry? What is G-Gum? Go to GreaterGreenwoodUnitedMinistry.org. GreaterGreenwoodUnitedMinistry.org, and the homepage comes up, and you'll see the top tab that says Music for Ministry 2026, I think it says. Hit on it, and everything's right there. Ticket, I think the Eventbrite, all of it's there. You hit the link, everything's right there. She's got it all connected.
Well, that's great. That's great. And it's not too late if you'd like to donate an item or a service or something like that.
No. Now, we really don't want you calling us at 6 o'clock on Friday evening.
Hard to put a catalog together at that time.
It's really funny. Last year we actually had a donor come at 9 o'clock Saturday morning with something. And we're grateful. We are very grateful. But that causes my folks to break out in hives. They've already really gotten everything together. And we're still, Friday, we are pulling all the loose ends together, trying to make sure all the bid sheets are done. Everything's accounted for. Copies of coupons and gift certificates are done. It's a lot. Pam does a great job with that. She's so organized, and it's a lot of work for her. She does this solo. She's like, don't touch my stuff, and I'm like, I get it, because I'm the same way. Don't touch my stuff. And she has it all organized, and she's been working on it for days, trying to get the catalog done and all the info on the plexiglass holders and bid sheets. And
well, what's some of the items? So, we've got a couple minutes here. Any particular items that might be of particular interest? I mean, everything is of interest, but
we have Lowe's is a wonderful donor for us. They are just a wonderful supporter every year. They have donated a table fire pit. Is a wooden table that is a fire pit. I'm sure it won't catch on fire, but it's got the insert and all that. It's beautiful. We've got that. Hunter's headquarters, they do a wonderful job. Cindy and them over there, they have given us a cooler that is waterproof and floats. Falls out of your boat fishing, falls off your pontoon when y'all are having a great time on a Sunday afternoon. All you got to do is reel it back in, get beside it, and pull it, because it's floating out there. And they also gave us a Bluetooth speaker, like a turtle box. It's like a $400 item, and they donated that to us. We have some antiques. Hoarders on Main donated these beautiful, I think they're like lions, but I'm not sure. They're like very Japanese, and they're white porcelain. They're gorgeous. So we've got those. We've got baskets. Abbeville, we have a great package with Sharon Manor and Refuel, Gathering on Trinity, Main Street Coffee, the Opera House. That's always a huge
it's one big
package.
Basket.
Yes, one package. And then Greenwood, they do the theater. They do In on the Square. They do Montague's. Sometimes sugar is put in there. They're going to have a lot of gift cards in with that package. And it's just a great time for a couple or whoever, going out and having a wonderful evening, eating, going to a show, going to stay at In on the Square or beautiful Sharon Manor in Abbeville, and then getting up and having a wonderful breakfast at Eggs Up or Main Street Coffee, and then going shopping for the afternoon, getting some antiques and going into the boutique. So that's 2 big items for us.
Wow.
We have 2 mountain houses again. We always have our mountain houses. One sleeps about 10, and I've actually rented it for my family several years in a row, and it's beautiful in between Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Gorgeous. Jim and Kathy Kelly. And Dr. Coleman Robinson, our medical director, has a beautiful home in Brevard, and it sleeps about 6 or 7. So those are great, 2 great mountain houses that are available. So we got
something something for everybody.
We do. And we got, you think, I'm not going to have all that kind of money. There's gift cards, just gift cards, gift cards of local restaurants, or we don't put everything together. We do have separate things for people.
Well, if you've got over 100 items, is that what you said?
Yes.
That's a lot of items to look at, folks.
Yes. Dr. George Cohn, our internist, he does 3D printing. He has made some beautiful vases and stuff. They just gorgeous. 3D. They're beautiful. He brought all that in yesterday. And then he takes pictures of birds. He loves birds. He takes pictures of birds, and he's done gift cards, thank you card, cards you write in. Yeah.
Right.
Done those every year, and they've always been a huge hit. So him being one of our doctors and doing that for us, it was very touching to see him bring all that in the other day. And so, it's just different stuff. We got all kind of stuff.
Stuff you're not going to see everywhere.
Right.
And
don't miss it.
Don't miss it. And when is it again?
It's Saturday, August 22nd, next Saturday, from 5 till 7:30. Yes, Penny, I know I'm whispering and being crazy over here. 5 to 7:30. It is at New Covenant Church, 1509 Woodlawn Road. And you can come at 4:30. And, because somebody asked, well, do we have to wait till 5? No, the event starts at 5. Come earlier, and you can start looking at the items, the silent auction items. Get in, pick your seat, go sit down, enjoy your tea or, your water or whatever you're drinking, and just wait for the event to start at 5, and then you'll be going, wow, it was over. It's already over. And I'm not kidding about that. It's crazy. But
and you won't even have to go get your food.
No, everything's served.
Meal.
Everything's served.
That's huge.
And you've got 11 great groups. We got some great stuff.
So tell us that we got a minute here. Tell us who some of the music is.
We have Carlotta Fawkes, who is one of the Palmetto Girls choir girls. She's singing. We have Redeemed. They are gospel quartet here in Greenwood, and I think they go around and sing at churches. Tabernacle Baptist praise dancers. I said this morning at Rotary. I said we have some adult dancers from Tabernacle, and I went, wait, let me rephrase that. They're adults and they're doing praise dancing, because everybody's like, okay, what kind of event is this?
Where's the poles at?
It was a little crazy. Coal Springs Mennonite Church will be there. They're the ones that do Walk to Bethlehem. They're awesome. Willie Forest is back. Siloam Baptist is back. Favorite people. Mount Olive Baptist Church is back after 4 years being gone because we lost contact with one another. And we were in a community event 2 Saturdays ago, and she and I kept looking at each other going, we know each other. And it was like, she came over and we started talking, and I said, where do you go to church? Mount Olive. And I went, the worship team. And she goes, Music for Ministry. I said, yes, we have a spot. Would you like it? And so they're back with us. We're excited. Soul Purpose from Laurel Baptist. Kim Smith is back. She has a beautiful voice. Kim is a friend of mine. Shared Hymnal is a kind of a community group that comes together to sing. It's a bunch of different churches that do hymns. And of course, New Covenant worship team's going to round out the evening for us. So we got lots of music and lots of excitement coming up for next Saturday, August 22nd, 5 to 7:30, New Covenant Church.
Well, we've talked a lot about Greater Greenwood United Ministry, what they do, and then how they raise the funds to be able to do what they do. Mm-hmm. And it is such an important event. I hope that everybody will take the time to consider going, being part of this. You'll walk away so happy, so uplifted, right?
Yes. And you know what? If you're looking for a date night, come, please, because it's a great date night. You will leave there feeling so happy. Like Ann said, it just makes you feel fulfilled, and you're with people that everybody's together. There is not one, they're not separated by denomination or political party or race or culture or anything. It's everybody in the same room, just together, eating and laughing and just having a wonderful time to raise funds for us. It's a great event.
And hopefully your wallet will be a little lighter.
Yes, we're definitely hoping that will happen.
But come out regardless of how much, whether you
That's
spend
right.
$5
Or your ticket money. I mean, hey, that's
It's
great. That's awesome.
And you're going to have a good meal on top of it.
Yep, absolutely.
So, well, this has been really enlightening here. We have
Yeah.
missed you on the radio.
I know
here,
it. I have
Rosemary.
missed being here, and I told them today I've seen myself coming and going down the hallway all day. So I guess this is really me. I'm not really sure. Or am I back at the office?
No, Rosemary is in the building. Executive Director Rosemary Bell with Greater Greenwood United Ministry. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Ann.
Saturday.
Thank
next
you.
Saturday.
Next Saturday, August 22nd, 5 to 7:30, New Covenant Church, 1509 Woodlawn Road. I will see you there.
That's right. And I will be here in the morning with Penny. Penny's sitting right here. We'll be back on the air tomorrow. We took a day not to be on the air. We were on the air, but we weren't live on Facebook. So we'll be back in the morning. We needed a refreshing day.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there you go. That's going to do it for us. This is WCRS Radio. We are going to drop the curtain. We are going to cue the music, and we'll see you in the morning. This is WCRS Radio. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Rosemary.